Charlie. People seem to be loving this new direction, man, and it's all thanks to you. So thanks, Charlie Madison. Thanks. I no longer need to get smashed off of my bits, Charlie, because this is therapy for me. Do you understand how important this is? This is therapy, Charlie. You know what? You remind me of a younger me, you know, before the operation. And that's a huge compliment, man. You're special. And so is this trick. In this video, I'm gonna hide one of my favorite card forces of all time. It's a borrowed deck, Charlie. Charlie, it's a shuffled deck. You understand? It's a borrowed shuffled deck. The participant shuffles the cards, yet I can still force any playing card that I want from that borrowed shuffled deck. It's just madness. You're gonna appreciate the title of this one, Charlie. Let's get to it. I'm Daniel Madison, you're Charlie Madison. What's going on? You're welcome. The magician takes a deck of playing cards, and after shuffling them, he proceeds to remove 4 of a kind. 4 playing cards, all the same value. He places those 4 playing cards on the surface and invites his participant to place their hand on top of those cards. Jesus. The magician then invites the participant to shuffle the playing cards. How am I supposed to shuffle the deck when my hand is on these 4 flipping playing cards? Maybe you could put an object on top of them instead of covering them with your hand. The magician then invites the participant to place an object on top of those 4 playing cards so that he cannot get to them. Please place an object on top of those 4 playing cards so that I cannot get to them. Is that a frozen sausage? Yeah. The magician, that's me, then proceeds to count playing cards one by one from the top of the deck, like so. He invites the participant to call stop at any given moment. Please, if you would like to call stop at any moment. Stop it. You're happy with this? You can change your mind if you like. I am very happy. The magician then fairly reveals the stop tap playing card to be none other than the 9 of clubs. The rest of the playing cards are placed aside. At the beginning, I lied to you. Thanks, Charlie. Good timing. I told you that I removed 4 playing cards. I actually only removed 3. These 3 playing cards need 1 more playing card to make up 4 of a kind. Those playing cards are then revealed to be the 9 of diamonds, the 9 of spades, and the 9 of club hearts, making 4 of a kind. The magician then hands out the 4 of a kind to be inspected, and the participant responds accordingly. Yeah, it's alright. Are you some kind of magician or something? Yeah, I'm a magician, yeah. Thanks. I am Daniel Madison, and this is the Sausage Force. What are you doing down there? Does he always do this? Shut up, you. Get up, Madison. Get up, magic boy. Come on, get up. Stop crying. Oi, get off my sausage. I am Daniel Madison, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Thanks for choosing to spend a little bit more time with me today. This is a very special video. I'm going to teach a very powerful force, a force that's been in my repertoire from day 1. I believe it was in my first ever lecture notes over 20 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. It's dead simple, it's direct, it's to the point, and it looks completely fair. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what a force is, it is the act of forcing a participant to choose any playing card that you want them to choose. I want them to choose the 9 of clubs from a shuffled deck. I use this force. The card that they choose will be the 9 of clubs. You heard the name right. You heard the name correctly. I'm going to get straight to it. Now, a lot of people say that I talk too much, and I do, but the intricacies of deception cannot be overlooked. They can't be overlooked. So when a video is long and when I'm talking too much, it's because it needs to happen. I'm obsessed with magic and deception, specifically but not limited to playing cards. Obsessed completely. I live, breathe, I bleed playing cards. I'm obsessed with the advancement and the development of deception as an art. So when I talk for a long time, you better be listening closely because it's very important. On that note, we're going to get straight to it, straight to the teaching. Thanks for being here. I'm Daniel Madison and this is the Sausage Force. Now we're going to begin by getting straight to the mechanics, straight to the method, and then we'll cover the intricacies once you know how this force works. We're dealing with the bottom playing card of the deck, 9 of clubs in my case. I'm going to hold the deck from above, like so, in my right hand, finger 2 at the front, thumb at the back, fairly relaxed, nothing fishy, nothing strange, finger 1 resting on the top. As I'm talking, as you're spending a little bit of time, the left hand is going to come in underneath and I'm going to riffle. I'm going to bend the deck with help from finger 1 and allow the bottom card to snap away like so. Just so that I can hold a break with it in there with my thumb, which looks like that. It's just a tiny little bit of a gap that nobody can see from the front. Nobody can see that. So I have a little gap there that allows air to be in between the deck and this playing card, allowing that card to drop away from the deck easier than it would if it wasn't for that gap. So in this position, you can either ask the participant to call stop as you deal playing cards, or you take playing cards, or you can ask for a number between 1 and 52. Now, to make this simpler in the learning process, we're going to choose a number. So we're going to keep it low and go with number 9. So I ask for a number between 1 and 52, they say 9, and I proceed to deal or peel playing cards away like this. With my left thumb on top, I press down, slide it over, and allow it to be dropped to find its way into my left hand, like so. Very relaxed, very easy. Some people will already see what's coming, how this works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on 6. The 9 is still here. 6, 7, 8. Now when I go for the 9th playing card, in this exact same manner, the exact same behavior and body language and pattern, nothing changes. I'm going to drop the 9 of clubs on top of playing card 8. So I drop it on top as my thumb makes contact with the top card. Thanks, Charlie. Like so. So the 9 of clubs is now being dropped onto the top, and I peel this card on top of it like so. So I now actually have 10 playing cards in my hand. I'll expose that a little bit more. So 9 here, we get a little bit of a gap. 1, 2, 3. Obviously don't go this fast, we'll cover all this after. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop 9 on top. So the 9 of clubs, the force card, is now the second down in this pile. There are a few different ways that there are a few different things that I can do with this situation right now. First of all, 2 ideas. Number 1, double lift. Turn over 2 playing cards to show the 9 of clubs. That then allows me to turn it back down, put this playing card in the middle, looks like the 9 of clubs, in fact it isn't, the 9 is here, put this packet on top, push the apparent 9 of clubs inside, and it finds its way to the top. That's not a trick, that is a control. Another thing, or the thing that I like doing, the thing that I always usually do is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop 9 is this. I push the cards over like this so you can see at least 3 cards, and then I raise them up like this to show you the top card. Obviously now you're seeing the 9 of clubs, that's not the top card. The top card is, in this case, the Ace of Diamonds. So from here, the Ace of Diamonds We don't need the ace of hearts. The ace of diamonds is on top here. When I do this motion, when I raise up, all I'm doing is pulling this card back at quite a normal speed with my thumb. Now the fingers 2 and 3 of this hand are pressing against the face of the 9 of clubs, which keeps it in place. So right now the ace of diamonds here, I pull it back like so as the deck goes up. So this happens as I'm raising the deck, like so. So the ace is here, thanks again Charlie. The ace is here, I lift this up to show you the 9. I grab it here on the corner very carefully and delicately. I pull this packet away, so now that this is free from the deck. Now, depending on what you want to do, you can pull this away and then hold it in place with your thumb. Now it really is the top card, and it looks like it was the top card all along. We'll go over that once again very quickly from this angle, and then we're going to cover some of the intricacies. So the 9 is, there's a gap between the 9 and the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop, 9. This card that we stopped on is the 9 of clubs. We are clean and free to go. Let's get up close and deal with some of the more intricate deceptions with this force. So the trick that you saw me doing at the beginning of this video, the demonstration itself, where I used 4 of a kind, I don't usually do that, but I chose that trick as a way of demonstrating this force. However, I do want to teach it to you because I'm sure a few people will want to know how that works and will want a way of performing this. So I'll perform that first, and then we'll go over some of the amazing things that you can do with this force. Now the deck is thoroughly shuffled by a participant. I don't like using the word spectator. It's a weird, disengaging, disconnecting word that I don't like. A participant. Participant means they're part of it. And in magic, and in all magic performances, the participant, the person, should be participating. They shouldn't be just stood there watching. They should become a part of it. A very important part of magic is bringing them in, allowing them to experience it on as many levels as possible, with as many senses as possible. Obviously they don't want to smell the magic. It might smell disgusting, but they want to feel it, they want to touch it, they want to know what magic feels like. So that's another reason why I like to allow them to touch the playing cards as much as possible. The deck of playing cards is thoroughly shuffled by the participant, and we'll use 4 of a kind. And I say that I'm going to take out 4 of a kind, and I do, but I keep one of those cards back in this position. Now the 9 just happened to be there just by coincidence, but I'll put it, in fact, they're all pretty close together, so I'm going to separate them for the sake of explaining this trick, like so. So I go through and I'm going to up jog 4 of a kind. Now I make a point of saying 4 of a kind because they need to know that they're all the same value, that there are 4 of them. Thanks Charlie. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point and throughout, I don't really want anybody or the participant to know what playing cards these are, because that's kind of where the impact lies. That's where the secret of the reaction is going to come from. I take out the 4 playing cards and show 4 playing cards. I show 4 of a kind. Now I've shifted the 9 of clubs to the back, so this is, or from your side, the front. This is the 9 of clubs. I show 4 playing cards and I say I'm going to put these 4 playing cards on the surface right here. Put your hand on top of them. A very simple action where I am able to steal the 9 of clubs. Very simple. It's not even a move really. It's a non-thing. It's just something. I just basically just put it in the deck. Deck's here. I say I'm going to place these 4 playing cards on the surface right here. I've just kept behind the 9 of clubs. The playing cards are in a pile. They've just seen 4 playing cards here. They're in a pile. It's a non-moment. You can't tell that if there are 3 or 4 playing cards there, especially with my attention direction. I don't like the word misdirection. I'm not trying to make people look away from these 3 playing cards, but I'm certainly trying to direct their attention away from them to something else. There is a difference. We'll talk about that in a different video. At this point, you don't have to invite them to put something. I invited my participant to put something on top of those playing cards so that I couldn't get to them, and he put a frozen sausage on there. Now, you don't need to do that. That adds a level of protection that you don't really need. Like, you don't run unless you're being chased. And at this point, I've got nothing to worry about. And I'm not presenting, I'm not giving any information yet. This is a very non-moment, and nothing's happening so far, and I don't know what to expect. So there's no reason for me to lie about these playing cards. Also, I don't want them to know what my 4 of a kind is yet. So they're not going to turn them over and look, because this is part of the secret. They don't need to know yet. At this moment, I can shuffle the playing cards myself. Freely, you can shuffle the playing cards yourself, and you're still going to have the same impact with the trick. For me, I like my deceptions to be dangerous and risky, and I like to go one step further. For me, I will cop the hell out of that 9 of clubs. It's on the bottom of the deck. I've got so much time while I'm explaining what's going to happen to shift that 9 of clubs into a gambler's cop before I hand the playing cards out to be shuffled, meanwhile stealing the 9 of clubs. Now I keep that 9 of clubs in my hand whilst the participant shuffles the playing cards. When they give me the playing cards back, I just load the 9 of clubs from the palm straight to the bottom of the deck, and it's now in position where it needs to be. Thanks, child. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do it. You can just shuffle the playing cards yourself, controlling the 9 of clubs by any means. I'm simply just keeping my fingers against it so they stay at the bottom when I'm shuffling. This keeps it in position. You don't need to hand it out. I just think it adds so much to the deception where they've shuffled. It's an important moment. They've shuffled. That's what they'll tell when they go and tell somebody. He showed me this incredible thing with a deck of playing cards where it was a freely chosen playing card and I shuffled. It's an important part of that memory and that story. You can change that. You can change it after the trick when they're saying, wow, what happened? What happened? How did you do that? At this moment, I can get into their mind and say, yeah, you shuffled. Remember, you shuffled the cards. And they'll go, yeah, I did. I shuffled. Through the excitement and through the stupidity of it. I don't know what word to use. Anyway, the 9 of clubs is at the bottom of the deck and I'm ready to go. Everything's ready to go. Now I can invite the participant to call stop as I deal playing cards like this. Or I can ask for a number between 1 and 52. It's really up to you. If you say, ask them to call stop, when you get to this position where they've called stop, I'm now going to ask them if they want this card or this card. Because when they call stop, I might be over here and the 9's still here. If they call stop while I'm here, I drop the 9 of clubs off and I can say, do you want this card or this card? If they say this card, it is the 9 of clubs, so I've got nothing to hide. It's a perfect trick. If they say this card, perfect. I just deal one more playing card off and continue as planned, as already explained, where you pull this card back, where you spread it back, 10 of spades, show the 9 of clubs. If you ask for a number between 1 and 52, then there's no option. You don't give them an option, this or this, because this is going to be the number that they told you to deal to. I prefer asking them to call stop, because if I say name a number between 1 and 52, they might question this and say, why can't I deal the cards? Then you have to change the trick. Then it becomes something else. Then it's going to become controller. So there's a way out of this. But for the purpose of this trick, I don't want them to do that. I want full control over this. That's why I say call stop at any point. And it really doesn't matter when you call stop, as you know, because the 9 of clubs is here. So let's just get to it. They call stop here. I deal that playing card, make it as fair as possible, push it over down here so they can still see it, then raise my hand at a normal speed, not fast, not slow, carefully hold it like this, and put these playing cards face up, these cards face up, always as hands off as possible. Now, the moment where you take the card like this, you don't need to take the card like that. You don't need to do that. But it does have something about it that makes it feel more fair. It makes it feel like you are proving that that's the top playing card. And at this point, you're free. You're good to go. There's a chance that they might have counted the playing cards as you're doing this. They might be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They might be counting. And you might worry because you're going to have an extra playing card. I drop the 9 of clubs and peel this off. there's one more playing card in that deck than there should be. But this is only an obsessive person who this never happened in 20 years for me. It's probably never going to happen for you. And also at this point where you take the 9 and put this pile down, you're going to put this packet straight on top of it anyway. So there's no, the chances of them backtracking and reverse engineering this are very slim. It's never happened with me, but there you go. For the performance that I showed you in this video, I ended up with this card, and I say, I lied to you earlier. I told you that I put 4 of a kind down. I didn't. I only put 3 of those 4 of a kind down, and I kept one of them in the deck. Look, now they see that there's 3 playing cards there, and all of a sudden it becomes strange. It becomes mysterious. It becomes, whoa, hold on. Now I understand. Now this makes sense. All this counting cards, all this shuffling. Now I get what's coming. The anticipation, the predetermination of what's going to happen, and also then that moment where they see 9 of diamonds, 9 of hearts, and 9 of clubs, 9 of spades. I always do that as a bit of a joke. And then you clean. Obviously you clean, everything's done, and you're good to go. So that's the video that you saw at the beginning. That's the demonstration that you saw at the beginning of this video. Let's talk a bit more about the force itself and how to use it away from the situation as a force itself, and some of the other interesting things that you can do with it. Now when you start playing around with this force itself isolated without the trick that I showed you, and you start experimenting and playing with different things that you can do with it, you find that there are so many things, and it's such a powerful force, and it's dead simple. You don't need to be completely skilled with sleight of hand. You could still be in your early stages of learning and achieve this very easily. There's not much going on in terms of sleight of hand. This isn't a classic force, for example, which is arguably quite difficult for beginners. This is something that, although I don't advise it, anybody who's new to this could pick up a deck of cards and achieve this instantly. I don't advise that. I try to promote the idea that we need to spend as much of our lives as possible developing and learning and advancing our skill levels in deception and sleight of hand with playing cards before we even go out and perform. Saying that it's a tough argument, because the only real practice will come from performing. Just like this trick, just like this sleight, just like this force, I mean. You will learn the most from this, as with any other deception, from actually going out there and doing it. You'll learn the rights, the wrongs, the right things to do, the wrong things to do, the best angles, what's safe, what isn't safe. Fortunately, this is a force that doesn't need too much control over the angles. There's that one moment where you drop the playing card into position where you have to hold a break too. There's that moment there too. But there's not too much that you have to cover when you lift the card up, when you lift it, show it. Again, you might want to hide the back side of that, but then if you're worried about that, you can revert and you can do the double lift. Let's take a quick look at it. We'll get the 9 of clubs back in position, and we'll do 9 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop. 9 in this position. Let's take a look at this. If you were completely surrounded, what's the best way to do this? Now we can get into second dealing. You could hit a second deal right now. The second deal is the act of dealing the second playing card down in the deck, whilst apparently it looks like you're dealing the top card fairly. You could do a second deal. You could do. It's difficult, and we're not going to get into that yet. I do have the second deal masterclass on the way, but that's in the future. That's on its way soon. For me, I think the easiest solution, the easiest option here when it comes to angles and protection is hitting a double lift, showing the 9 of clubs, showing that force card, turning that card back down. You're left in a position now where you have so many different avenues that you could take. You forced the 9 of clubs, you've stopped at that card, they called stop, you fairly showed that card to be the 9 of clubs. You can now turn that double card face down, apparently take the 9 of clubs, actually 6 of diamonds, take the 9 of clubs, put it in the deck, put the rest of the deck on top, and it looks like the 9 of clubs lost inside. Meanwhile, you've controlled it to the top. So this could be used as a very interesting control too. I did publish something else with my late friend some years back, Randall Freeman. I can't remember the name. I think we might have called it Counting Crows, but either way, I'm going to show you this interesting idea that you can do as a 4-card reveal, and then we'll leave it there because I want to see what you guys can come up with. But before we get to that, let me show you this interesting idea where you can produce 4 of a kind by using this force. I have 1 9 on top of the deck, the other 3 9s are at the bottom. I ask a participant to name a number between 1 and 52, they say 9. I have my break between the bottom card and the rest of the deck, like so. They say 9, 1, so that's our first 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop the card 9. With my left hand, I'm going to square those 2 cards up and get a break, and I'm going to open this packet with my right hand like so, and clamp those 2 cards together inside like so. There are 2 cards here now. I'm going to use finger 2 of my left hand to reach underneath, thanks Charlie, to reach underneath this packet and peel out the bottom playing card to the top of this packet, like so. So they look like this. I now turn both my hands over as so to reveal all 4 9s. This is very, very strange and simple idea. It's one of those things that doesn't need to be a thing. It's just a cute thing that you can do with playing cards. And by teaching this on film, by teaching the force, I was reminded of this, so I thought it'd be worth sharing. 3 of the 9s to the bottom, 1 on top. Get your break between the bottom card and the rest of the deck. Ask for the number between 1 and 9, which is very irrelevant when you get to the end of this, but still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, the top card being dealt off, so the 9's already here. The rest are at the bottom of the deck. When I deal when I drop the 9 of diamonds to the deck, because I've just gone 8, I drop. I keep my pinky in place so that it doesn't fall on top of the deck. I drop, peel the top card off. Now I've got a natural break between my pinky. So these two cards are held together. With finger 1, I pull open this pocket, I break it open, and I clamp those 2 playing cards inside. So now I have 9 of diamonds with a card hidden behind it, with a random stopped card hidden behind it. 2 9s here and 1 9 here. So I want to create this same shape with this hand, so I peel the bottom playing card off the deck. As soon as I see it, grab it with my thumb. Now they look the same, and I rotate my hands in opposite directions to reveal all 4 of the 9s. A very non-trick, a very silly, cute little thing nonetheless. I really wanted to share it. So the sausage force, remember, practice, practice, practice. Don't go performing this until you feel very, very confident, and work the trick out first. Develop your own trick, create your own trick that can be used with this force. And let me know what you do with it. Use the comment section. I'm very interested. You know me, I'm very interested in developing and advancing the art of magic. So I want to see what other people create with these ideas. This isn't my idea. I developed this over 20 years ago. And when you come up with something, when you develop something, when you discover something in the world of magic, in the world of any art, I guess, when you publish it, when you share it, it's no longer yours. So you watching this right now, this is now your force. You take it and do whatever you want with it. Call it what you want. You can feel free to call it the sausage force. It's my favorite. It's my favorite title for a force. Oh yeah, do you know that force by Madison? You know, the sausage force. What? Just makes people smile, you know. So take it and do what you want with it. I'm going to be sharing so much more like this, so much more of my sleight of hand, my magic, my deceptions, and it's all going to be on my YouTube channel, this channel. We're going to develop together. Me as the teacher, I guess, the teacher of magic and deception. You as my student. All I ask is make sure you're subscribed. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the force itself and what you do with it. I will be in the comment section to this video. I'll be right there with you. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks Charlie. I'm Daniel Madison. See you next time. What am I doing?